Hello friends, and welcome to a live Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is me, Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I have been gone since the 2nd of August, since last week, and so much has happened between now and then that I had to do a live stream just to be able to cover it all. Now with that, I am going to be focusing on so much of the updates, of the information. I'll be answering your questions as I think about them or I see them come across my handy-dandy little view screen. So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Now, again, I left Wednesday morning actually. I created a video for the Ewok video that I posted on Thursday of last week. That was actually uploaded and ready and sent from my phone while I was out jet skiing and wakeboarding. And well, I wasn't wakeboarding. I'm too old, too unathletic, whatever, to actually go wakeboarding. But I did have a lot of fun. We were down at Lake Powell, had a great time, awesome time. For those of you guys who are living in the area, you know what I'm talking about. But while I was gone, I had crappy reception, and I was only able to check my phone 2 or 3 times once a day for the entire time that I was there, and it was incredibly frustrating. I didn't have cell connection. I didn't have like Wi-Fi connection, and the only time I was able to log in, get all my dailies done, and I didn't even get like Galactic War. I logged in once, got the thing, and then moved on. It was so frustrating, and all I would see is every time I'd come into port was this little blip, and it would be like 50 new updates have gone through, and I was just chomping at the bit to get home. Not only that, I was excited for this, to read all this stuff, and it has been crazy. So much has happened in the last week and a half that I don't even know where to start, but I'm going to give it a shot. Welcome, Tucker. Cubs fan Han, what's up, man? Congratulations on hitting over 1,000. Man, that was awesome. I saw that this morning, and well, I don't look nerdy. A lot of people have said that. The glasses. I actually wear contacts. Wearing a Star Wars shirt. I don't know what else I can do. I shaved my head. If I didn't have a shaved head, as you can see, the baldness. I don't know if baldness equals nerdiness, but, you know, for me it does. Anyways, but so much has happened, and it's been ridiculous. Freaking ridiculous to figure out, to see all the new stuff that's gone on. So I wanted to just start off, and I'll answer your questions if you, I'm going to just take credit for you, Cubs fan Han. I want to say that I am your Jedi Master, and you are my Padawan who's gone to the dark side, and that's how you've gotten all of the subs. Maybe it's because you're making better videos than I am, or better content. Anyways, probably the better content, probably that side. I don't think it's the dark side. Anyways, so starting off, one of the things that I thought was really cool was this update that I'm showing you here now. This was posted on the 26th. I don't know how I missed this, but it was edited on the 2nd, so maybe that's where I got it. But it talks about this content versus content update hotfix, and version update. Now, I think this is just cool that they've updated their lexicon to figure out, to let you know what's going on, right? So content updates now these are the game updates that we all expect. There's bug fixes, packs, bundles, shop rotations, event characters, etc. It'll say content update, month, day, year, all that crap. That's normal. That's very similar to what we've seen. Then we've got the content update hotfix, which is the patches, the mini updates, the newsletters, the reheats. I don't know, probably those things that come back over and over again. And then that's content update, HF, day, month, or month, day, year. Now, this is what I was so excited to see when I came back. Version update. So this means entirely new content in-game, so raids, ships, territory battles, etc. Then version updates, month, day, year. they wouldn't put this in unless they were ready to start throwing stuff out. Now, back in, I want to say it was June, when the E3, that 2-minute clip or 5-minute clip of, who was it? Some of the, Jesse and someone else from the dev team, they sat down and they were like, look, we can either do videos, or not videos, well, I do videos. We could either do reworks, or we could do new game features, new game modes. You can't have them both. But, random guy, what's up? But you can't do both. And that's one of those things that, like, this is the first of my thought. This is the first thing that we're going to see. The new ads, the new modes. We're going to see a lot more of this stuff coming in the next couple of months. It'll be version update, and then we're going to get a new raid. We're going to get a new thing of ships. We're going to get new territory battles. I think we'll see our first version update sometime in the next couple of weeks, to be honest. I think that we're going to see our first version update with information on territory battles probably towards the end of August. I don't know. Cubs fan Han, are you a game changer yet? If you are, maybe you can give us a little heads up. If not, who knows? But I'm not a game changer. EA, if you're hearing this, and let's face it, you probably are, throw a little info our way. But I do think that our first version update will come in the next few weeks. Something we'll see. I know everyone's stoked for territory battles. I personally also am stoked for territory battles. I like the mini raid with the ATST. I thought that was pretty sweet. I'm hoping that we get something similar to that with new characters. I hope that that's how they introduce some of our new characters that way. I like that that's how we're going to farm Chirpa. I think that's pretty sweet. But Cubs fan Han says he's not a game changer yet. With his growth, I give him 2 months, 3 at the tops. But I am looking forward to more ships. And like I've said before, I think ships are going to play a much larger role in the game. And now that they're introducing all of these awesome characters, or they're reworking the original Rebel team, I think ships are going to be playing more of a part, or a bigger part. I think we're going to be seeing Zetas not necessarily more farmable, but I think that there's going to be more of a dash to get them, and therefore we're going to see more people with Zetas. Man, I'm looking forward to these new characters. And then, let's see, welcome, Brandon Bonk. So, let's continue on. We saw this earlier, August 1st. This was the day before I left. We have the event for the Luke Skywalker Flash events. Started on the 3rd. It's going to be every 3 days going through the 30th. Take advantage of that, even if you have Luke, even if you have... It's just a way to get gear, right? It's not necessarily gear that I want. A lot of the stuff these Flash events are offering aren't things that I need. But, you know, do it. I mean, it's free stuff. I mean, check it out. Daring Droids started on the 3rd, will run through the 11th. Now, it requires Empire characters. So many of my friends that play this game are really pissed off. And I understand why. You have to have R2... and we'll talk a little bit about this later on with the Commander Luke thing. You have to have R2... you have to have him 7-starred to even be able to get Commander Luke, which is kind of frustrating. I totally get that. But R2-D2 came out a couple of months ago, and we knew that to get a character like this, we knew we were probably going to have Rebel characters. I mean, there was a lot of speculation about this, and nothing against those guys who don't have them, who haven't farmed your Empire team to get other things up. They threw a lot of razzle-dazzle at us for the last couple of months. Now, granted, if you didn't like the Ewoks, you had an entire month to get Empire characters up. Now, keep in mind, Star Wars is about the Rebellion and the Empire. If you're not aware of that, you may not be the fan you think you are. And we're going to probably continue to get Rebellion and Empire characters until we get First Order and Resistance characters. Now, I would love for this game to continue to a point where we get Old Republic and Sith characters. I don't think it'll last that long. But if it does, that would be sweet. That would be awesome. But guys, I mean, you need to have a solid Empire team. You need to have a solid Rebel team. If you don't, I mean, you're going to miss out on a lot of stuff. So R2D2 is going on right now. We've got the Omega battles as always. That's the 5th and the 6th. I'm going to pause here and take a question. Your predictions on the clones in the future. Random guy, I think the first thing that we'll get for clones is helmets, maybe, because I feel like that's the thing people are clamoring most about, and it's probably the easiest fix. It's just a design fix, or would just be a design fix in the game. But I don't know if we'll get a rework necessarily. We could, and probably will, but I don't think that we'll get the same, like, super amazing reworks that we've seen so far. I'd actually like to see some lamer characters come out. I mean, this next set of tunes that just got reworked are amazing. And people who diss on a lot of these characters probably don't have teams set up for different things. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. But I love it. I think that the clones could possibly have... I could see additions to clones. I could actually see, if they're going with the Rebels, a Wolf and Gregor added. Maybe even if they show up in the cartoon, Star Wars Rebels cartoon, we could possibly see them added to the game as I don't know, minor characters, but they'd still be clones. So we could see that. I saw another question up here. I'm scrolling up to the top. Just as a reminder, yeah, I was at Lake Powell. The AK-47. Sorry to hear about your medical problem, man. That sucks. Yeah, just moving on. Let's go ahead and just go back to the dates and stuff. And yes, I am going to Zeta Leia. Just throwing that out right now. Yes. For a number of reasons. I'll talk about that when I get to her. Let's see. So, Droid's back. We've got the Omega battles. Those are nice. Hero's Journey, Star Wars, start, end, redacted. Start, end, notes, redacted. All that stuff's redacted. Does anyone remember, and this spaced me, this is just because I threw this minute up. I threw this live stream up at the last minute. So, if anyone remembers when the Ewok event went live, that'll probably give us a good indication of when the Hero's Journey will probably go live as well. Because it was redacted or strike through, or it was left out. It was similar to the way that it's posted now. But I'm thinking that we could probably see it in the next week, or start within the next week. If we do start within the next week, I could see it starting on a Thursday. I just have a feeling that, like, based on all the stuff they've done so far, Thursday seems to be the day that they do stuff. So I could see that. But I don't know, to be honest. We don't have anything. I could see it being sometime next week, starting from, let's say, tomorrow's the 7th. So starting from the 7th and running to the 6th. It'll run for about 8 days, probably, maybe 10. But either that or they will have it start on the 17th. Or the 17th. On, like, the 20th, starting about towards the end of the month. I just finished watching Cubs fan Han's latest video, or I guess the first video that he posted on all of this. But one of the things that he said, and one of the things he hopes for, is the same thing that I hope for, and it is, I want double drops. Because like him, I have I have R2 7-star. I have Leia 7-star, Gear 11. I have Stormtrooper Han 7-star, Gear 11. I have Luke 7-star, Gear 9, almost Gear 10. And just today I unlocked Old Ben. If it starts earlier in the month, I'm screwed. And there's no way that I'm getting Commander Luke. Just not going to happen. I am farming and farming and farming. I'm doing the 3 100 crystal refreshes for my for Cantina. Then I'm doing my 350 crystal refreshes for just regular basic energy, and I'm using those to specifically to gear Old Ben and to star Old Ben. I hope that I will be able to get him by that time, because if they don't do a double drop, it'll be tight. I might get him, but it'll just really depend on when they launch the event. I'm hoping towards the end of the month, just for kicks and giggles. Now, I do think that they're going to let the Daring Droid play out and give more people a chance to get R2 before they launch the event. I'll talk about the hopes for the rework for Han. Just as a heads up, the Raid Han, I'm not familiar with him because I don't like him. I don't really care for him. Really, the only thing I've used him for is that getting that initial shot off. I know that he's good. I know that he's a solid character. If you can get him to Gear 11, if you can, do all that stuff. But he's just someone that I've never put a lot of time into. Once I unlocked him, I realized, hey, I don't really care for this. Assault Battles Ground War starts August 12th, ends August 13th. You need Ewoks, which I hate to tell you guys, I told you so, but I'm loving my freaking Ewoks. Or resistance units. And I just Zeta'd Finn. I kind of wished I would have held off on the Finn Zeta because of what has just happened. And then we've got Omega Battles for Dathomir on the 19th and 20th. And then the Places of Power Assault Battle on the 26th and 27th. Be prepared. I do think they're going to launch, and they're going to give us more information. Once we get the hero's journey, I think there will be some other stuff to round out the month, to finish out the month. Maybe an event or two, maybe, I don't know. But I think we'll see more simply because they have a tendency to hold off on some of their things until they've given us more information about this type of event, like the hero's journey. Moving on, so those are all the dates. Farm Boy Luke, the rework. Okay, now, he's one of the first characters most of us get, or for those of us who've been playing long enough, he's been one of the first characters we get. He's an easy farm. He's an easy character to level up. But the Luke rework has been... actually, before we go to the rework, I'm going to talk about my internet. Stormtrooper Han, no. Where are you? Content update 8.2. Commander Luke. Because I'm loving this concept. Now, we should change Commander Luke to God Luke. Because this character is going to be awesome. So I'm just going to go through and read some of this. Stop me if you've heard it before, because you probably all have. This Commander Luke is arriving in the galaxy soon. We're excited. They're giving us this sneak peek. Be prepared for the next couple of days. I would be shocked if they didn't give Game Changers. I would be shocked if they didn't give Game Changers early access to this, and just to give us this information. So, yeah, anyways, sorry, my wife's texting me because I think I'm being too loud, and I've got children upstairs asleep. I'm in my basement, and you'd think that, anyways, I love her, she's great, and I totally get it. What's up? I'm Live streaming. Say hello to YouTube. Anyways, I'll wait for her to text back. But I'm loving, oh man, I'm loving this new concept. I love this new thing. This Luke has 6 abilities, 3 of which are going to be Zeta abilities. Luke is really going to be awesome. He will unlock, and to get him to unlock, you need Old Ben, Leia, Stormtrooper Han, Luke, Farm Boy R2-D2. To do this, we have the R2-D2 event, like I just said. The Flash events are returning, packs and bundles. Guys, I'm just really, really excited. I won't go through the rest of this stuff, but they've updated a lot of other things. We don't have, I don't know, we don't have a ton of information on this, but he has a freaking lightsaber. Guys, he's gonna be a game changer. He totally will. What happens to him? I don't know. We'll see. But I'm really excited. I think he's going to be a game changer. I think we're going to see the Rebel faction make a bigger comeback in an arena. I think Luke himself is going to be, I can't even imagine what he's going to be like. I'm going to do a full in-depth review on these characters, on their kits and whatnot. But I'm excited. I'm really, really stoked. So then we will move on to Stormtrooper Han. The rework, his wary shot, his Omega upgrade turn meter gain chance amount has increased from 15 to 30%, which means every time he uses his basic attack, he's going to go up more and more. Meaning he's going to be able to use his draw fire faster. Quick question. Sanely Red asked, Commander, why isn't Commander Luke a Jedi? Technically, Luke didn't finish his Jedi training until Return of the Jedi, and I would even argue until after that. So I'm not entirely sure. I just think that he wasn't a Jedi at the time. This is Hoth Luke, right? And he's bad A. He's awesome. He cut off the arm of a Wampa, but he's not technically a Jedi yet. Will they eventually give it to him? Maybe, maybe not. I'm not entirely sure. Back to Stormtrooper Han. Updated text clarify that allies gain turn meter only if Han is damaged while the taunt is active. Cooldown reduced by 1. Now that is super important. I'm going to skip down his leader ability. I don't know anyone who's used Stormtrooper Han for his leader ability, but that's been upgraded. But is unique. It is now a Zeta upgrade. Whenever Han takes damage, he recovers 5% protection. Now, here's the thing, guys. Chirpatine. I don't know how Han is going to play in the event with Luke, but Chirpatine uses Han. A lot of tank builds use Han, and he loses that protection quick, and he doesn't get it back. This is going to make Phase 3 of the tank raid so much more, so much better. I'm debating on whether I want to give Han my next Zeta, because that is sweet, and my Chirpatine, I just don't do it right, and Han is one of those characters that is, I mean, Gear 11, 85, 7-star, he's been great. His mods are solid for me, but I don't know. I think Han's pretty amazing. Moving on, we've got Princess Leia. So for those of you guys who have a Leia, a Princess Zodi team, which is the Cody, the clone troopers with Princess Leia, this is going to be that much better for you guys. You guys are probably running around just giddy as can be. Her basic attack upgrades now, the upgrade 7 now grants 10% damage instead of 5, so she's going to be hitting harder. Her Omega on that ability now grants plus 15% multiple attack chance in addition to previous bonus of add 50% chance to gain 10% turn meter. Okay, so every time she uses her basic attack, she gets a possible 10% turn meter. So in one attack, if she attacks 3 times, she potentially gets 30% chance or 30% turn meter back to her. That's going to be awesome. So her special ability has been reworked. Rebel Tactics fully upgrades. Now reads Leia gains stealth and critical damage up for 3 turns and gains 50% turn meter. If Leia already had stealth, she also gains offense up and foresight for 3 turns and gains double turn meter. So again, pretty sweet. All odds against all odds. Upgrade path reworked and gained a new Zeta ability, 45% chance to heal. And whenever Leia attacks, she gains 5% protection. Leia has just become a very survivable character. I love that. I think that's awesome. Those of you who have the Princess Zodi are going to love her. Even if you don't, if you have a Rebels team, I've used Wigs with Akbar and Leia and even Lando. This is going to be that much more of a powerhouse, and that team is going to be very potent, and I am ecstatic to see that. I've really, this whole thing has really made me rethink my Zeta strategy. So, Old Ben, like I said earlier, I've not had Old Ben. I'm farming him now. I'm going to get used to him before the rework is launched. And you know, the reason I don't have Old Ben is the same reason a lot of you guys haven't leveled him up, because he's crap, or has been. I mean, really, for a time, the only reason to have Old Ben was as fodder for other teams. If you needed to put someone in to take a hit, throw in Old Ben. Old Ben now has the Rebel category tag, so he is a Rebel. His basic now grants potency up instead of evasion up. His Omega is now, the attack can't be evaded, and inflicts evasion down for 2 turns. Now, that is pretty sweet, excuse me. His special mind trick, the ability can no longer be evaded. Omega upgrades now grants Jedi and Rebel allies gain 3% turn meter for each effect resisted, in addition to previous bonus of a 15% turn meter reduction chance. So I'm thinking, like, you have some people throw on tenacity up, all of a sudden mind trick becomes, or Obi-Wan becomes that much better. He has a new special ability. It is called Devoted Protector, fully upgraded without a Zeta, so you don't need a Zeta for this one, but it has a Zeta. Old Ben gains Taunt for 2 turns. All allies gain defense up for 2 turns. So finally we have a taunting Jedi, or I say finally, we have a few taunting Jedis, but that is going to be pretty sweet. Fully upgraded with a Zeta, Old Ben gains Taunt for 2 turns. When this taunt expires, Old Ben gains Taunt for 1 turn. All allies gain defense up for 2 turns. Now, this is going to be pretty interesting to see how this plays out. So what's going to happen is, if an ability is ever removed, right, you have those people that take away the ability. I'm curious, he gains Taunt right back, right? And he only gets it for 1, but that's still pretty sweet. I like that. If You Strike Me Down has been reworked. Ability regains really rework and gain a Zeta, 2% turn meter, and 20% heal plus 20% protection recovery. And the first time Old Ben is defeated, all allies gain 25% turn meter. Fully upgraded, it reads, whenever another Jedi or Rebel ally takes damage, Old Ben gains 5% turn meter. This time, the first time Old Ben is defeated, all allies gain offense up and speed up for 2 turns, recover 50% health and 50% protection, and 25% turn meter. So the cool thing is, when he dies, he gets that awesome thing. You bring him back with you res him, and great, he's back. But you don't get that again. So I'm curious of what that will look like when he dies a second time, if that'll happen. one thing I didn't mention with the other ones, but I really like, is this general strategy. I love how they're doing this. I love this new little thing, because each one of these updates come with this, hey, if you want to learn how to play better, or if you want to learn how this team works more effectively, then boom, here you go. Here's a strategy on how to do it. Next character we're going to look at is Farm Boy Luke. Again, he's solid. I don't dislike him, but he's not my favorite character. He has helped me out of a few jams from time to time. He's become more powerful. So Frontier Marksman upgrade 7 now reads 10% damage instead of 5. Omega upgrade is 15% damage in addition to the previous bonus of 10% turn meter gain. So his Bullseye Omega upgrade now reads cooldown -1, so that's nice, especially for these quick battles. I forget the names of them. Anyways, but it's going to help more with these battles, these flash events. That's what they're called. But it's a -1 cooldown and speed down for 2 turns, and if this attack doesn't score a critical hit, dispels all buffs on the target. And that's freaking sweet. I love that. He has a leader Zeta ability. I'm not going to use it. New Zeta is upgrade 5+5 tenacity, and whenever any ally resists a detrimental effect, they gain advantage for 2 turns. That's a sweet ability. And I know someone's going to call me on it and not being useful, but anyways, I'm going to see what the other Luke looks like with this team before I use this guy. Now, Draw a Bead, his final unique ability reworked. Luke has a +10 to 25% critical chance. So that's just sweet. That's awesome. Now this has a new Zeta upgrade. At the start of each of his turns, Luke gains 10% critical damage, stacking until the end of the encounter, which means you are going to want to put as much turn meter or as much speed on Luke as possible, because if you're getting a critical damage stacking ability and you throw him, he just goes over and over and over. He is going to hit like a dump truck, and you are going to want him to take as many shots as he possibly can. Now, I will do a full rework and a full overview of these in the next couple of weeks. For more information, if you're wanting to look at these, for those of you who don't go to the forums, they're really good to know. They're really good to go to. But for those of you who don't go, oh, that's not it. Anyways, they're very useful. I like them a lot. What we're going to see in the coming weeks or coming months, you know, I'm surprised I don't have more subs too, David. Tell your friends, sub. If you're not subbed, sub. I like doing this, guys. This is a lot of fun. I do have to go, unfortunately. I do have some family matters to attend to. I've got a 1-year-old that needs to go to bed because it is a little late for her. Also, Game of Thrones. I know not everyone's a fan, but tonight's episode, super looking forward to that. Then, once Game of Thrones is over, Rick and Morty. It is win-win. Sunday night is a great night for television if you have TV. If not, I don't know, Hulu, whatever. I'm not paid by them, but man, I'm loving it. Anyways, guys, I'll be posting more. I have a few videos coming in the next couple of days. If you love this, subscribe, share, like us. I like doing this in my spare time. It's been a lot of fun. Additionally, every Wednesday I do a movie review of the previous week. We call it the Battle at the Cinema. It's hosted by a guy that I have fun with, a guy that I work with. His name is The Random Dude Josh, and he is a lot of fun. And we kind of review and we make our picks and talk about movies that are coming out, movies that came out, and how they performed. Give it a look. We have a few of the videos up now. But this has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. And thanks for your patience with me being gone most of this week. Stay nerdy, my friends.